Well, Jason Kerr, let's start with the state of this game. And I thought the bowlers stuck to their task really well this morning. Did well to bowl Warwickshire out for the score that they did on what's a pretty turgid pitch.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the whole innings, I thought they were exceptional yesterday. We were unlucky for them probably not to be 4 or 5 down at the close yesterday. And then the way we started this morning, again, we picked up where we left off, created opportunities. And as the ball got older, got softer, it became harder. But I can't fault them with the ball.
And then a lot more application with the batting when Somerset went in the second time around.
Yeah, it was a precarious position. We were 50-60 behind. We needed to start well, and I thought Lammers and Dicko did that brilliantly. And to be 2 down, we're probably a little bit unfortunate to be 2 down, but again, that's the nature of the game, I guess. And the game's, I wouldn't say it's in an interesting place, but obviously we're going to have to play well that first hour tomorrow.
Somerset haven't really had the rub of the green when it comes to umpiring decisions in this game, have they?
Look, I think it's, I think all teams feel that way, but we have the advantage of looking back at dismissals, watching them 3 or 4 times, and I think we have been unfortunate in these games, but I'm very aware umpiring's an incredibly difficult job.
Can you see any other outcome to this game than a draw tomorrow?
I think it's unlikely. I think we need to, if there's no conversations in the morning, which I think is unlikely this time of year. We need to play well that first hour, certainly absorb any pressure that they throw at us, and then I think with the wicket the way it is, there's an opportunity for the guys to bat long tomorrow.
And the priority must be to make the game safe.
Yeah, absolutely. We've played some really good cricket in this game. We haven't strung it together through the season, and we want to finish well. And I think there's some lessons we can learn. I thought the way Sean Dixon, Andrew Mead in particular played. If we can take some of that sort of resilience and then looking for opportunities to score into next summer, then there's an opportunity to do that tomorrow.
Now let's look back at the season as a whole. Not much doubt what the highlight of it has been, that remarkable performance in the Vitality Blast, winning 15 out of 17, and of course the whole thing. Tremendous performance.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. I mean, the reality right now, it seems a distant memory ago, but the campaign itself, I think the way we went about it is the most pleasing thing, is that there's a dominance, certainly in the group stages. The confidence grew, and we took that into finals day. And I believe it's the hardest competition to win, because one individual can certainly win a game, and not often does the best team in the group stages win it. But for me, we were the best team in the group stages, and statistically that was proven. And then to play the way we did on finals day, it was a phenomenal day, great experience, and we get to celebrate that again next week, so we'll relive those memories. Absolute highlight.
And great performances in both the semi-final and the final from the fielding side, and the bowlers keeping their nerve and defending 2 scores that on the face of it didn't appear to be enough.
Yeah, I think the most pleasing thing for me is that cricket's a really difficult sport to play as a team, and as I said, one individual can win a T20 game, and I think as a unit we played brilliantly throughout the whole competition. No more so on finals day, is that there was an air of confidence within the group. In some respects it was irrelevant what the opposition got. We'd batted first in the competition, we'd bowled first in the competition, and then to get to finals day and defend the way we did. It sounds silly, but it wasn't a surprise. I was incredibly proud of the group. I had absolute confidence and felt very confident during the day, despite, you want to get 200 and post those scores, but we didn't do that. But it was, a phenomenal day. And
what a catch by Tom Kohler-Cadmore to finish it off.
It was phenomenal, and that'll be remembered forever, that moment particularly. But I think, Casey Aldridge's catch in the game was equally as good. Maybe not quite spectacular, but I think I'd rather have taken Pepsi's than I would Casey's, the speed that was travelling at. But again, it's testament to how well we fielded throughout the whole competition, and opportunities like that, you need to take them to win close games.
Now the county championship looks like you're going to finish 6th, which is, I think, the same as the previous year, having won 3, lost 4, drawn 7 probably. How good a performance is that? Is that a little bit disappointing given the strength of the squad?
I think in the moment, without having time, the advantage obviously the Blast was a while ago, so you get time to reflect. I think there's some incredible highlights in the championship as well, but we've underperformed. I think that's fair to say. So to finish mid-table, you get what you deserve, I believe, and I think that's really what we deserve. We've played some phenomenal cricket in there. There's been some individuals who've had outstanding championship years, but as a team we've not quite pulled it together. So even when we've been at full strength, we haven't quite done that. We've had a lot of injuries, we've had a lot of things that's challenged Championship cricket, and none of those are excuses, they're our reality. But it's not the standards that we've set over the last few years, and that's what we'll be aspiring to get back to.
And what about James Rew? What a season he's had.
Phenomenal. I was thinking about it this morning because he's obviously a young player, but he's an outstanding young player, and no one's talking about his keeping either, and he's done a remarkable job. And I think we can't underestimate how good a job he's done, the fact that actually mentally he's keeping as well as batting. And I think we've seen towards the back end there is an element of fatigue, a young player playing the amount of cricket he has, and carrying our batting for a long period of time. I can't speak highly enough of him, and he's due a nice break, there's no doubt about that, and he needs to use that wisely, but he's got an incredibly bright future.
And Matt Henry, what a difference he made when he joined up with the squad for the game against Lancashire in both the Championship and the Blast.
Yeah, he's been, on and off the field, he's an outstanding character, an outstanding performer, and he showed his calibre. And I think you combine, Lewis Gregory, to see him back to his best with the ball as well. It's a formidable attack when it's fit, firing and on the park, and Matt Henry led that brilliantly. He came with obviously his reputation, but you still have to deliver, and he did that week in, week out with an incredible calmness and an incredibly positive influence on the group as well.
Now, what about the batting? Because I think 6 or 7 times Somerset have been bowled out for less than 200 in the first innings in county championship matches, and you've still got this problem of top order collapses. Do you feel there's been any progress on that this season?
I do. I feel there's been huge progress, which, listening to your statement contradicts that slightly. But I think if you look, I've done a little bit of research. So Tom Lamberby's come under a lot of criticism through the season, and actually he's probably, I think, the 4th highest run scorer as an opener. He's batted a lot of balls. He's done some brilliant stuff. He's done some silly stuff as well. There's no doubt about that. But I think, opening the batting in domestic cricket, you've got to get through that first 20 overs, and top orders across the country aren't doing that. Certainly on a lot of the surfaces that we're playing on, and I think there's so many contributing factors to that. The scores aren't as high, and so that's, don't get me wrong, there's areas where we need to improve, and we're seeing that in moments. We're seeing it in some instances in games, but not enough. And we need to improve that consistency, definitely, if we're going to challenge for the title. But I think we're going in the right direction. We've obviously got a new coach in Shane's come on board, made a huge difference, and some of the things we're going to look to do moving forward as well. And it's trying to get the mentality right. I think this game's a really good example. We lost a couple of early wickets, and then there was a period where Umeed and Goldsworthy looked like they were wresting some momentum back, absorbing the pressure really well. We just didn't get to that point where you can turn the game around and start to put the pressure back on the opposition. So it's from the outside it does look incredibly alarming and frustrating, but I think contextually the game, if you look, so Alistair Cook's averaging 35 in first class cricket, and he's a phenomenal cricketer. There's definitely a pattern emerging where top orders are struggling. We need to arrest that. There's a lot of things that go into that we need to address. But for more so mentally is getting our batters in the right space to go out there, recognise what situations, how they need to play, and sometimes you have to be patient and absorb pressure. In
the One Day Cup, obviously, with a weakened side because so many players lost to the 100, but a better performance, 3 wins as opposed to only 1 last year, and a real breakthrough for Andy Umeed.
Yeah, I think I said this last year, but I find it fantastic in that it creates opportunity. Now, it's frustrating as a Somerset fan, which we all are. It's frustrating because white ball cricket, we're incredibly proud of how we play the game, and we've been successful. We obviously won it in 2019. But our reality is we lose a lot of players, and that creates opportunity. And what I'm seeing is players emerge. Andy Umeed is a great example of that, and you see the confidence that he's playing with now in first class cricket. And that's what it's about. These guys are really good players, and we have to get them in the right space mentally to go out there and allow themselves to perform. And that's what that's done for Andy, is that he scored 3 incredible centuries, had a brilliant campaign, and he's come into the side and looked like certainly belongs, but looked like he's been here for a long time. So that now, the reality of the schedule stays the way it is. We have to change how we see that competition. The philosophy behind it's the same. We're going to look to win that competition and play the best team that's available to us. But the reality is that some guys are getting exposed and others are getting exposure to showcase their skills, and that's what's really exciting about it. and hopefully we can have more stories like Andy where guys come through, gain that confidence, have that sense of belonging at this level, and then come to either the Blast or to the Championship side as well.
Are you and Andy Hurry going to be looking to strengthen the squad over the winter?
Always. I think that's really important. We need to address, we've obviously got some players moving on, so we need to look at areas where we need to either strengthen with young players coming through, which we're obviously incredibly proud of what we do as a club, and then looking to strengthen at the top end as well. And it's important we get the right calibre of cricketer that comes in to add to what we've got already.
Bowlers or batsmen?
My priority right now will be bowlers, definitely. I think to win the Championship you need 6 bowlers of first class calibre that have either got experience or can deliver the skills like the other guys. So when you do have Craig out or Lewis or Matt Henry's not available, you don't lose that quality. So, and you've seen this game, Josh Davey coming back in fresh makes a huge difference. So if we can get to a place where we've got 6 or 7 guys that have got that kind of skill level, then we can compete for the Championship. So we're always looking to do that, and that may be where we have to go overseas again, or certainly domestic as well.
And overall, a season of progress?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the incredible high, the Blast, you know, we'd been there so many times, you know, it was not so much long overdue, but we had to get over the line, and to do that in such a convincing manner. You know, the exciting challenge now is no one's ever defended their title, so that's a real challenge and an exciting one for us. And Championship cricket, you know, we all know the Holy Grail, and that we've yet to do that. And for me, it is just a matter of time, and there's some work to be done there. And I see that as an exciting challenge. So, you know, what I've seen is a lot of growth in a lot of individuals. If we pull that together as a team, then the sky's the limit.